Welcome to the Gerwel Fellowship Annual Summit. Together, we are empowered. Together, we are the architects of a brighter tomorrow.
Hello everybody. I'm exceptionally excited and honored to open up the JGF Fellowship Annual Summit this year. It's our 7th one, and we are incredibly delighted to also be providing you live streaming from anywhere in the world for where you're dialing in, but particularly our Joburg folks, which is here where I am, and in Cape Town where Jackie is as well. I am very honored to be able to make this space to introduce our first and opening speaker of the JGF Summit. This person is, folks, in many ways, one of the rock stars that we can only even imagine we might be one day. And I'm delighted to be able to make this space for our opening speaker. And when we hear from him, our theme for Summit this year, the work that we do as JGF Fellowship in teaching, education, leadership, and in entrepreneurship. There is absolutely no doubt, folks, that at the end of this Summit weekend, you are going to be 100% empowered. So, with no further ado, I'd love to bring up onto stage Hakeem Subair, the CEO of 1 Million Teachers. This is a very powerful organization of people who are trying to gather the biggest body of teachers that there are in the world. So, Hakeem, thank you for your time, and I'll hand over to you now for you to be able to open up Summit. See you later, folks. Over to you, Hakeem.
Please welcome onto screen Hakeem Subair.
Today we want to talk about you, the new fellows, and those of you who are already existing as teachers. I do have a few points that I would like to start with. Congratulations in order. Welcome to the most noble profession. For those of you who are just starting your careers, and those who are already there, I will say congratulations, keep at it. Why teachers? Teachers are leaders. You are already leaders. In fact, the best leaders are also the best teachers. And if you look at history, if you're familiar with the works of Aristotle and Socrates, particularly if you know Alexander the Great, you know he had a great teacher in Aristotle. And around that period, it wasn't like the traditional classroom that you have right now, the more like the industrial or the factory system that we tend to have. But ultimately, the teacher, regardless of situation, regardless of location, they are able to have an impact. And we saw that how Aristotle influenced Alexander the Great, and throughout history, he continues to be a reference point. Now, we're talking about impact. We're talking about you being empowered. You know it, I know it, most people know it, particularly those of us who are from Africa. We know how it seems as if teachers are not celebrated. It seems as if like we don't have much to show in terms of material possession. But the work that we do as educators is actually one of the most meaningful work anywhere in the world. And at the end of most times when we reflect on our life, we find out that it's more important to make meaning. And that's why the work of a teacher is really, really very, very important. I want to say that you guys are very, very lucky from here to anything you want to be. And the skill set that you take, that you develop as a result of your work in the classroom, at your school, at your community, is a solid foundation for whatever it is that you choose to become. And there are many pathways to go, whether as a school leader or as a director of education or even as a president eventually. And we have so many examples in history of many, many people who started out as teachers. For you guys, one of the things that helps me a lot, and I would like to share it with you, is that sense of gratitude. Gratitude always. It makes you very, very, very humble. We at 1 Million Teachers, we work with teachers from across about 18 countries in Africa and then beyond. And we see all kinds of issues. And I would say, if you are a teacher from South Africa, you are one of the lucky ones. You may not ever encounter some of the debilitating challenges that many educators face in some more challenging communities. So yes, you might not have everything that you want, but when you are filled with gratitude, you'll be shocked and surprised at how a lot more things will come to you. So please, always, in whatever you're doing, have that mindset of gratitude. Make the most of the opportunity. South Africa is a leading light in Africa. And we're talking about 2050 or thereabouts, where more than 40% of the youthful population in the world is going to come from Africa. And South Africa has a unique role to play. You teachers have unique roles to play in that, in shaping that future. So what do you need to do? You need to constantly invest in yourself. You need to build yourself. You need to develop yourself. You need to be hungry for personal and professional development. And as you rise, and this is part of the core of my message to you today, as you rise, you remember to lift others, not only your student, but your professional colleague, people within your community. That is how to make meaning. It's going to be tough. There's going to be all kinds of setback, personal challenges and professional challenges. But if you keep your eyes on the ball, eventually you're going to turn at the corner. Personally, I've had challenges working in this space, and I can tell you that I'm living my best life, and it's not been easy. I've had myself being questioned. I've questioned myself several times. What am I doing? Why am I even doing this? You know, that you begin to wonder if you're doing the right thing, but ultimately you begin to see the path begin to open up for you, and you begin to thrive. And you can't do this alone. Remember, you need to have a tribe, and that's also part of the what this program that you've undergone is all about. When I was going through the slides, I stopped at a particular slide which is about empowerment, and the reason why I stopped at it is because of what we're focused on today, and in which I've been asked to talk about, which is really that you can't do it alone. You need to be part of a tribe, and being part of that tribe means that you are going to be supporting yourselves. You are going to be supporting one another, because you are going to be tired. There is a reason why God created us this way. We are wired to be social animals. We exist in communities, and part of the success of the social media, the likes of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all of that, is to fill a need in a world that most of us have become individualistic. We become disconnected. It doesn't do it very well, but at least it's designed to address that need. That's why we live in communities. There's a reason why lions hunt together. There's a reason why they exist in a pride. There's a reason why dolphins exist in schools, or fishes exist in schools in general. You understand? We talk about wolves hunted in packs and all of those things. You talk about geese flying in a V formation, supporting themselves, building themselves together, because you cannot do it alone. And it's very, very important for you to be part of an ongoing professional learning community. Otherwise, you will be exhausted. You will be tired. You need other people to energize you. You need to lean on others. You need to draw strength from one another. We saw this at 1 Million Teachers, and I was talking about how we kept tweaking and just asking ourselves questions about what would teachers need the most. And we found out that beyond all of the training, which I kind of showed rapidly, we have this built-in system where you go through the training in stages. But we found out that there is a stage you get to more than ever that you need a professional learning community, and you need your tribe. And that's the whole essence of what we've built. Everything we have built within 1 Million Teachers is to eventually get to the point where teachers begin to support themselves. But beyond that, I was talking about making meaning earlier, and that is so significant because at the end of the day, you have all of this knowledge. You've been trained. You've been exposed to so many best practices, and then you begin to go beyond that, beyond yourself, to giving of yourself to others, to giving of yourself to your students, to giving of yourself to your fellow teachers, to giving of yourself to your communities. As you begin to give all of that, you begin to find out that you begin to rise yourself because you are feeding off the energy of all of these fantastic folks and part of this community that you have. So we talk about Ubuntu. We say I am because we are, and this is, everybody knows that this is something that South Africa has exported to the world, and we all use it, so let's always remember that spirit of Ubuntu. Just look around you. If you look at people who are billionaires or millionaires, they tend to flock together. If you look at elite athletes, similarly, you see them training together. So why can't us as teachers, as educators, also learn to congregate in communities to uplift ourselves? As you go out there, as you go beyond yourself, you begin to make a difference in your community. Service above self. You are seeing challenges in your community and you are stepping up to do this. Don't try to do it alone. Seek collaboration, seek partners, seek helpers, but also be giving and also be full of gratitude. As you begin to show all of these attributes, you will begin to see help come to you in so many different ways. Remember, elite athletes train together. Remember, we need to collaborate with one another. This stage where you are, whether you are new educators who are about to start or those of you who are already existing, we need to begin to think about what we're doing. Why are we even in this space? How can we elevate ourselves? How can we elevate our community? At the end of the day, it's really all about the ecosystem. They say that you cannot be bigger than your ecosystem. So your contribution to that ecosystem through collaboration, through everything else that you do to uplift others is also going to elevate you. So I will really urge you to go forth and make magic